What's up, friends? Just went to both of the last Kiss shows at the Garden, Friday, December 1st, Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. It's been a great run, guys. Thanks so much for the music. 50 years of rock and roll. Long live the greatest band that ever was. I've seen Kiss, I think, 12 times over the years, starting in 2009 at the Garden. What a great show, a Live 35 tour, heard a ton of old school songs that I have not heard live since. I've seen something like 7, 8 shows on the end of the road. I mean, I just had this moment of like, I gotta see them while they're still here. And then it went on for like 4.5 years. No regrets. So, there actually was a band opening this time. I got a little sick of seeing The Painter. It's a cool act if you're like in a shopping mall and see that stuff, but I want to hear an opening band. And both nights it was Amber Wild, which is fronted by Paul Stanley's son, Evan. Obviously, they're riding some coattails here, but that is a fun pop rock band. Some of the songs are kind of boomer worship. There's one that sounded a lot like Sweet Emotion, but their song Silver is great. Give that one a listen. But of course, on to the big guns. Just being frank, there were no guest spots by Ace or Peter or Bruce Kulick. I'm sure most of you have already read that. I was hoping to see it, even though I think the current lineup is probably the most technically proficient they've had since the Eric Carr Bruce Kulick lineup. And also by far the most reliable. Everyone knows Ace is like always late to everything. Still though, even if it was like worse of a technical performance, I think it would have been just a great piece of history to have seen Ace have gotten up there one more time. The set was the same both nights, although this leg was a little different than previous ones. They played Makin' Love. I don't think that one's been in the set since like the Rock the Nation tour 19 years ago. So that was a really nice surprise. But it's hard to exactly identify what this is, but the band just had a fire to them that I had not seen on previous legs. I'm guessing it's because it was a hometown show and, you know, they don't have to worry about saving their voices or their energy anymore. This is it. Paul said this is the end of the road like 2 or 3 times Saturday night. I remember seeing them near the front, like 3rd and 5th row, Raleigh, North Carolina 2019 and in Charlottesville, Virginia 2020. And those were great shows, but these were just on a different level. There was a very touching moment. I think it was the Friday show when Paul brought up the first time they played the Garden, he could see his parents in the audience and he could see Gene's mother on one side of the audience. Gene turned away. I think he was tearing up. Gene's mother did pass sometime not too long ago. Paul's dad died, I think, last year. So that was like a rare moment of genuine, heartfelt, I guess, emotion from bands that are generally stoic and trying not to offend. For a band that is clearly generally scripted, there were some moments here that did seem like, fuck it, what else do we have to prove? On Friday night, the 1st, right before Dr. Love, Paul did a joke where he pretended to take Gene's temperature, like this, and Gene responded by reaching underneath Paul's crotch and then licking it. I could tell Paul was not amused. I don't think that was a scripted moment because it did not happen there the next night. Things like this that just keep you coming back. Well, not anymore, but you know what I mean. What is perhaps most interesting is the fact that only on the 2nd night there was the reveal of the new era. Apparently Kiss is going to continue as digital avatars. They did show some kind of animation of them performing the studio version of God Gave Rock and Roll to You too. It was a bit odd. If this costs like $1 or so, maybe I could see myself doing this, but there's no way I'd ever pay more than 20, maybe not even 10 to see this happen. Also, the studio tracks are just studio tracks. I can listen to them anytime I want. Why would I ever pay to see digital, like, I guess, lyric videos at that point? Like, I don't know what this is. But still, it was an interesting event. Weird as it might be, I'm glad I was there to see it live. It gets emotional thinking about the fact, again, that my favorite band is now gone. I have long championed Paul Stanley, lip-syncing accusations included, one of the best and most underrated rock and roll singers ever. You can find on YouTube an unreleased Folgers commercial that he did like 20 years ago. Even that has this insanely full, I think it's a B-flat tenor note in just pure Paul fashion. Honestly, anybody who's like making fun of him, and if you're not Justin Hawkins or something, try to go sing it. I dare you. Most importantly, though, how many bands can say they've influenced anywhere near as much? Ask any rock and roll metal guitar player who came around in the 80s and 90s, they probably mention Ace Frehley as an influence. Alas, this is a concert review, not a history lesson, but to the best band that I've ever seen live. Thanks, guys.